if you want to write any ARM programs, the same as the C1, C also, you should know the basic fundamentals here. But because unless you don't know fundamentals, it is not possible to write the programs here. So that's why if you want to know the fundamentals, that previous all topics are helpful for you. Okay, so that's why we discussed all the topics which are to be used in the programs here, like how to write the instructions, how to execute those, and how to move the instruction from one place to other place, how to use the barrel shifter. So all those topics we are seeing in the, I mean, in the previous classes here. So till whatever we discussed in the last class, that is your second module, first chapter here. So from today, we'll deal with the how to write the programs here. Nothing but, so on this you get one question, that is to write a program in exam also. Okay, so we'll see how to write the programs also, and we'll see how to trace the program. But we should know all the line how it works here. Nothing but वो line का meaning क्या है and why to use the that line here. Is that clear? So in this chapter we are going to discuss all the things which are related to the programs only. How to write it, how to write the loops here, how to construct the loops, how to use a for loop, or how to use the case conditions, like how to execute the program, how to find the errors. So whatever we see in this chapter, it is totally on the programs only here. The same is helpful for your lab also. Suppose if you right now you don't have this pandemic means, you can take this chapter in the lab also, because it become very easy to understand. Because once you do the programming like physically, it is easy to understand this concept, but due to some conditions, it is not possible to execute the programs, because we need some software, we need some hardware also. Okay, so now we'll just discuss only the theoretical part. Once all is normal, then we'll discuss those in the lab also. Okay, is that clear?
Also.
Okay, so now just what I do here, I just compare your C program and the this ARM program. It is called as an assembly language here, because it is not same as the C program here. It is a little bit different in writing also, and it has some different rules compared to the C program here. Okay, so first, like as we know, if you want to write C program, first you have to write the header files, then have to write the wide main, then open the bracket, then start writing the, or you have to define all the variables you want to pass, then you go for printf scanner, then write the function, then close it. It's a very simple program. The same here also, we have some set of rules here, because for every program, if you write in any language, if you go for Java, if you go for Python, if you go for any other language, they have their own set of rules here. So you have to follow those rules to construct a program here. So same way here also, to write the assembly programming using the ARM design here. Nothing but I'm using a concept called as ARM. So using ARM only, I'm writing the assembly programs here. See, whatever write the programs in this microcontroller, those are called as a assembly programs. Keep in mind very clearly, these are called as a assembly programs here, because these programs mainly deal with the assembler in your computer. That's why it is called as a assembly programs here. And it is not same as the C program. It is not easy to understand it. It is a little bit, I mean, tricky to understand the programs here. So this is the first point you should know. In this whatever we read, it is called as an assembly program. For that I am using the ARM philosophy or ARM concept to write the programs here. Okay, and second point is, always I prefer to write the size of 32-bit only. But always the programs contain the size of 32 bit because it is very easy to understand. It is very easy to execute by the any computer. That's why it is always we prefer to write the programs in 32 bit only. So these 2 points are very important to understand before going for the its core part here. So we'll move for the first topic called as how to write the assembly code here. Here we will not say as a program, it is called as a code here. Like in C, what we say, it is called as a C program. Here it is called as a assembly code here. Okay. So first point is how to write the assembly code here. So to write assembly code, we should know some basic things here. So first we'll see, yeah. So as we know, like in C program, after typing program, what we do, we go for compiler. Nothing but the compiler is check the errors and warnings. If we have the any errors or warnings, then we try to remove that. Then we go for execution. The same here also. After writing the assembly code, it sent to the assembler here because to rectify the errors and the warnings here. That is using the macro assembler, the program is check for the errors here. That is the basic idea behind the this assembly code here. So I'll take a simple example. So they given one example also here to understand very clearly. Yeah. So the program is write a program to square off integer from 0 to 9. Nothing but the program meaning is we have to square the numbers from 0 to 9 and find the output here. That is 0 square is 0, 1 square is 1, 2 square is 4. Like this, we have to find the till 9. 9 means 9 9 is 81. So I have to get those outputs in my program here. Okay, that is my, you can say it as a my question here. So for the question, so we have to write a program here. Okay, so first we write a first C program here. Okay, already I think all of you know, but just we take once again C, then we'll go for the assembly program here. So first, always we write the header file, that is it's called as a std, that is standard input output.h. Then they are passing a function called as square because I am doing the square, that's why I'm writing it as a square, and this I is nothing but it is your input here. You are starting from 0 till the 9. So every time we change the I value here. First it takes 0, then 1, then 2, 3, 4, 5 till the 9 here. Okay, then main start here only. So then it accepts only one input because I need only one input here because I'm doing the square. Then yeah, this is very important because I have to change the value every time. That's why I'm writing it as a for loop, that is starting from I equal to 0, I is less than 10 because less than 10 means I want to check the square from 0 to 9 only. That's why I'm writing it as a less than. If you want to check the 10 also, should be like less than or equal to 10. And I plus this means I want to increment the value every time from 0 to 10 here. Then, so they're writing a function here, that is square. Square of I is, so whatever we write the value in this it square because I'm writing a function called as square because this square already predefined by the external link only. That's why you don't have to write the that function inside the program here. Just mention it as a square of 5. Square of 5 means so whatever I value you place there, that value is doubled here. So this is simple program here in terms of C. So how to write this program in the assembly? That is our task here. Okay, so we'll see that program. Yeah, see the same program we can write in assembly in this way here. It's very important because in both we get the output same only. Where in the C also in the assembly, but it is executed in the assembler, that is executed in the C program here. Okay, is that clear? So I think all of you understand this C program, how to write this. Already we know very well. And to store this one, you have to write dot C as a extension here. So is it clear, all of you? If you know this C program means, we will go for easily for the assembler here. So already this program we done in your first sem only, first or second sem, in a C lab only. Hello?
Hello, yes, sir.
Okay. Is it clear, all of you?
Yes, sir, please.
So then now what we do, the same program we write in a assembly program, that is using the ARM here. The first one is how to understand, very important, is it is saved in terms of dot s as a extension here. But in C it is dot C, but in assembly program it is called as a dot S. You can write any name behind it, but it should be stored as a dot S, or you can write dot ASM. Both are okay here. But normally what we do, we save it as a dot S only here. So there what we done, I just little bit zoom in it because you get very clearly. Just a minute. Yeah. See, if you observe this, in this we are writing heading as header file. But in assembler, instead of that header file, you have to write this is called as assembler header file here. That is area dot text, means I am writing the text format. Then I am writing a code. This is only read only. Read only means it is given the permission as only read only. There is no permission of write here. It is very important to understand. It is only read only permission here. So instead of writing this header file in C program, here it is called as a header file of assembler program here, because in this every program is start from the area only, area dot text dot code, then read only here. So this is the first line we have to write in every assembly program. Second, here what I'm writing here, I'm passing the, I'm doing which function here, square. The same here also I'm doing it as a export square. Export square, why? Because I'm exporting this square from the some other function. That's why it's called as a export square here. Same also here, also instead of writing int, I'm writing here as a export and the square. Don't pass the inputs here. Just write the only function called as square here. I'll just do a little bit zoom out because it's not clearly visible. So then write here function which I'm writing function as square here. See here it is, there is no printf scanf. I told you here I have to pass only the basic instructions like move instructions, add instruction, subtract. That is you have to pass in the. That's why I told you compulsory have to read the second module first chapter. This because we get those throughout our all the lab program also get the same lines only here. I think all of you understand this. What is this line here? What is MUL? It's called as a multiply instruction here. Here what happened? We multiply the two inputs. It is stored in the output. It is called as a MUL, MUL, and this is your output, and these two are your inputs here. See, I think you remember here what is the square, how square it work? Square means nothing but 0 into 0. Nothing but, say first time it store the value of 0 here, that is R1 equal to R0 into R0, and this output is stored in the R1 here for 0 input here. After storing, so we have to move the R1 value inside the R0 value here. Why? Because next time I have to use R1 for the other work, means you have to clean the R1, you have to store it in the R0 here. So what I'm doing here, after multiplying this value, I'm going to store in the R0 here. तब क्या हो गया, both R0 and R1 become the same here. Next, move PC comma LR. I think how many remember this? What is PC? What is LR? It comes in a first chapter. That is whatever we see in the GPRs. There we have this one. PC means program counter. LR means link register here. So PC is nothing but it hold the current execution here, and LR means it used to link the next instruction to be executed here. So it is very important to know why you are writing PC and LR here. Why? Because I want to write a program to find the square from 0 to 9, nothing but I have to do the same task multiple times. If you have that program, means compulsory we have to write the LR here. Why? Because इसका मीनिंग क्या है, why to use LR? Because it link your current execution and the next one. Say for example, current means I'm writing now, finding the square of 0 means next time it comes 1. So what happen here, it link the 0 and 1 for the first time. Next time what happen, 1 and 2, next 2 and 3, so it goes till the last number here. So to do that one, I have to write the LR here. LR means it link the current execution and the next instruction to be executed, nothing but next one in the list. That is 0, next one, next 2 till the 9, because in my program I want to find the 0 to 9 only. That's why I'm writing it as a move the LR value inside the PC here. Because after executing 0, I have to take which value here? I have to take the 1 value. So 1 value is already stored in the LR. I just have to send back to the PC. Then again what happen? Again LR store the second value, then third, then fourth, fifth, sixth till the ninth value here. So to do that one, I am writing this line here. So this is for the one set. Next what happened? Next the value changed to 0 to 1. Then it goes again multiply, then move, then end means, so this is nothing but, so till now it executed one cycle. One cycle means it accept the one input, it execute that one, then it ends. That is the one cycle. Next it go for a second cycle. Second cycle means second input. Then third cycle means third input. It takes goes on the inputs, it execute in the cycle form only till the your last value is comes. So in my program, what is the last value here? Last value is 9. 9 is the last value here. So this is a simple program to find the square of 0 to 9 here. Okay. So below they are given why to write the area and why to write the code also. So we'll take one by one. So the area directive names, the area are the code section where the code is stored here. So I think you know, all of you, why we write this one, what is the need of this writing? Because it stored your printf and scanf. Nothing but to read the value, to execute the value, we have to need this header file compulsory. The same way in our assembler, to do all these tasks, this is important here. Nothing but, so area is nothing but at that place we are doing the task here. It will like multiplication, or you can take it as addition or logical. For every operation, the area is very important here. Nothing but it's a place. That place we are doing the our operations here. It is called as C. Area is a directive name, the area or code section that lives inside, that is called as a area here. So this is regarding the area. Then why to use the export here? So export try to make the symbol square is available for the external linking here, because we don't know from where we're getting a square. So to get that square, just to mention the export here, that's it. If you read the export, the square execute from anywhere here. It is not like we don't need to write function for the square here. It's not possible, because see, if you see here, where, yes, see here I'm writing the function for square. If you observe here, I'm writing function here, that is int square int I. I'm writing a function called as I into I. It is, this is how to write in C, but in assembler don't write the function here. Just you have to pass the function in, that's it. Automatically it execute the square from anywhere from the directive here. It is not ask you to write the function for that particular square here. That's why I'm writing it as a export square. That's it. Okay. Automatically it accept or it export the data from the your directive here. That is a very good feature of the assembly program here. So these two are important to understand. Area means a place where we execute all the our instructions here, and second is the export. If you are using any functions in this, like square, then cube, then if you want to find any that is log values or factorial value, then you have to pass export, then that function, and that's it. Don't write the code for the function here. Automatically take from the directive here. Okay, it's a very easy to write the functions here. So if you understand these two lines, you can write very simple code in the assembler here. And one more is very important. After writing your program, compulsory how to close with the end here. Like what we do in our C program, no? What we do, we just close with the floor bracket. The same way here also, after writing all your lines, you have to close or have to end with the end symbol here. That is how to write the end. It shows that your program is stopped there only. Is it clear? So I understand only three things are very important. Why to write the area, export, and the end. It's a very simple program here. In lab, we get little bit complex also. So once the lab will start, we'll discuss those programs in lab also. Don't worry. And the next class, I'll show you how to execute and what are the steps you have to follow for the executions here. So they give one more simple example here. Because one question you get in exam to write a program here. They ask any program, like they ask only simple programs only, not the complex one, simple programs only. At least you should know how to write the program. If you write only half also, they give some marks. Okay. Is it clear? That's why they are comparing the C and the assembly, because it's easy to understand you. Already we know one program means we can easily compare with the other style of programming here. If you understand this one, then we'll go for the next topic here. It is next topic is very simple one, that is profiling and the cycle counting here. So is it clear with the how to write the simple program? Just understand only. No, not to try it in your home. When we start the lab, I'll show you how to write the program also. Okay. So just take this concept within 2 minutes only. It's a small topic here. What is profiling? What is cycle counting? So all of you know already we know cycles, because cycles are very important in the instructions, because it we should know how many cycles it take to execute here. So profiling is nothing but this profiling tool measure that how much time is to be execute for time, and time is taken for execution of a program here. That is called as a profiling here. If you observe this line, it's a tool that measures the proportion of time or the cycles spent in each subroutine here. That is called as a profiling here. So by seeing this profiling only, if you're taking more time, then we know that it has some problems here. If you be taking normal time, then there is no any issues with the program here. So that's why you should know what is profiling here. And cycle counting is nothing but it count how many cycles are executing here. Nothing but how many instructions are executing in each cycle. That is called as a cycle counting. That's only it's simple to understand. Only two words are there. One is profiling, one more is the cycle counting here. So profiling is nothing but it is a tool which used to measure the time is taken for the executed particular program here. And cycle means this counter which count the how many cycles are to be needed for this particular program to execute. That is called as a cycle counting here. So if you take this above example only, for this program we need the 9 cycles, because one cycle for the one input here. Nothing but if you have nine inputs, we need the 9 cycles here. That is nothing but a cycle counting here. Okay, is that clear? So if you know this, then yeah, for this we'll take, because it is very important topic for exams also, how to schedule the instruction. That is called as a instruction scheduling. We get one question on this also in exam. So this is not that much important, just you should know what is profiling and the what is cycle counting. Okay, so in next class we'll see how to go for or how to do the instruction scheduling here. It's very important topic for the your exam point of view. And next we'll discuss how to allocate the registers here. These topics are having some relation between the 6.3 and the 6.4 here. Within 2 classes we'll finish this class, don't worry.